All, all right. Good evening, everyone. It is 5:30, so we're going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. 1.2 Presentation of Colors. The presentation of colors will be by the Shannon Hills Middle School California Cadet Corps, led by First Lieutenant Jordan Dean Reynoso, 333rd Battalion. And if I can go ahead and have Ms. Martinez Sosa lead us in the pledge, please.
Put their right hand over their heart, ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Awesome. Let's go ahead and give them another round of applause, please. Thank you so much. Next up, we have 1.4, approval of the agenda. Can I get a motion?
Second.
Moved by Mrs. Alexander, second by Mr. Tillman. Vote, please. Ms. Martinez Sosa?
Aye.
Ms. Hernandez Garcia?
Aye.
And Ms. Cervantes?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, it just popped up right now.
Motion carries. 2.0 special presentations and recognitions. 2.1 the Board of Education will recognize Ms. Kimberly Sargent. Well, actually, I'm going to go ahead and pass it to Ms. Maria.
Thank you, President Ceballos. Good evening. My name is Maria Garcia, and I'm proud to serve the district as Communications Manager. Today, the Board of Education will recognize 2 employees who are held in high esteem in their individual roles, and they are very deserving of the honors they are receiving this evening. I would like to start by kindly asking our board members, Superintendent Arellano and Assistant Superintendent of Ed Services, Anna Applegate, to gather at the front of the dais as I prepare to call our first honoree forward. Executive Cabinet, would you please make your way along the ramp on the side of the dais as well? Okay, first up, we are honoring Director of Categorical Programs, Kimber Sargent. Earlier this school year, Kimber was honored with the California Association of Administrators of State and Federal Education Programs Professional Learning Institute's inaugural District, State, and Federal Leader Award. This award reflects not only her expertise and dedication, but also the positive difference that Kimber's leadership makes across the entire San Bernardino City Unified School District. Kimber is an exceptional leader whose clarity, approachability, and deep understanding of categorical programs have transformed the LCAP process into something that families can truly understand and engage with. Through her intentional outreach and commitment to keeping families informed, she has single-handedly increased parent participation in LCAP meetings and strengthened family voice in district decision-making. On behalf of the Board of Education, thank you, Kimber Sargent, for your commitment, professionalism, and continued service to our students and families. Let's give her a well-deserved round of applause. Before we recognize our next honoree, I'd like to take a moment to invite Pacific High School Principal Dr. Natalie Raimundo to come forward and take her place next to Miss Applegate. Without further ado, please put your hands together as we welcome Pacific High School Career Technical Education teacher, Angela Quinlan. The nonprofit organization Project Lead the Way named Angela Quinlan its National Biomedical Science Teacher of the Year. She was one of just 7 teachers and administrators across the United States honored by Project Lead the Way for the 25-26 school year. As lead of Pacific High School's award-winning biomedical pathway, Angela empowers students and colleagues alike with her passion for transforming the future. Her classroom fosters innovation through STEAM and real-world problem-solving, preparing students to become proactive, resilient, and community-minded professionals. In fact, many of her numerous former students are now working in healthcare careers or studying in college to join the medical workforce. Ms. Quinlan, thank you for being a model educator and showing your students, your colleagues, and the entire district that the future of education is through career pathways. Please put your hands together one more time for Pacific High School teacher Angela Quinlan. Let's give both of them another round of applause. Members of the board, superintendent, and cabinet, would you kindly return to your seats on the dais? This concludes our evening's special presentations. At this time, I'll turn the floor over to Board President Mayra Ceballos. Thank you.
Awesome. Let's go ahead and give them one more round of applause. Again, congratulations. Well earned. All right, moving on to 2.3, resolution in recognition of Black History Month. I will go ahead and have Ms. Martinez Sosa, if you can read that for us, 2.3.
Whereas Black History Month, also known as African American History Month, traces back to 1915 when Dr. Carter G. Woodson founded the Association for Study of Negro Life and History, now known as Association of the Study of African American Life and History, ASALH. And whereas Dr. Woodson established the celebration of History Week, was also celebrated for the first time during the second week of February 1926, to correspond with the birthdays of Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln, both men who were great American symbols of freedom. And whereas in 1976, President Gerald Ford issued the first Black History Month proclamation, calling upon Americans to seize the opportunity to honor two often neglected accomplishments of Black Americans in every area of endeavor throughout our history. And whereas Black History Month recognizes significant contributions of African Americans throughout our nation's history, as well as Black people throughout the world, through their contributions in arts, entertainment, law, politics, sciences, sports, and so much more. Therefore, to be resolved, the Board of Education of the San Bernardino Certified Unified District declares the month of February 2026 to be Black History Month and encourages educators, students, and families to learn about the heritage and achievements of African Americans through appropriate programs and activities.
So moved.
Second.
By Mr. Tillman, second by Mrs. Alexander. Vote please. Ms. Martinez Sosa,
Aye.
Ms. Hernandez Garcia,
Aye.
Ms. Cervantes.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries. 2.4, resolution in recognition of National School Counseling Week. And I'll go ahead and ask Ms. Hernandez Garcia if she can read this for us, please.
Whereas school counselors are actively committed to helping students explore their abilities, strengths, interests, and talents, as these traits relate to career awareness and development, and whereas school counselors help families focus on ways to further the educational, personal, and social growth of their children, as well as help students and families deal with personal trauma and community tragedies. And whereas the 2026 theme, School Counselors Amplify Student Success, highlights the impact school counselors can have in helping students achieve academic success and plan for a career. Therefore, be it resolved, the Board of Education of the San Bernardino City Unified School District joins California and the nation in recognizing February 2nd through February 6th, 2026 as National School Counseling Week and encourages all schools to promote awareness of the role school counselors play in preparing students for fulfilling lives as contributing members of society.
Moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Tillman, second by Mrs. Alexander. Vote please. Ms. Martinez Sosa,
Aye.
Ms. Hernandez Garcia,
Aye.
and Ms. Cervantes.
Aye.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, who motioned and seconded?
Mr. Tillman and motion and Mrs. Alexander second. Motion carries. 3.0, public comments. 3.1, receive public comments. This is the only time the public will have an opportunity to address the board on items not on the agenda and within their subject matter jurisdiction, such as district policies, procedures, programs, services, or fiscal matters. The board must operate under the Brown Act open meeting regulations, which prevents board members from commenting on items not on the agenda to ensure transparency and public participation in government decision-making. The reason is simple. The board wants to make sure that anyone who has an opinion on an item knows via our posted agenda when we will be discussing it as a board. During public comments, the board can ask clarifying questions, but cannot discuss, answer questions, or ask questions on a topic that is not agendized. We're certainly happy that you're here to let us know your concerns. Please know that we're listening to your voices and your input is valued. If a follow-up is required on your comment, a staff member will reach out to you. Please make sure your email or phone number is provided on your comment form so that they may contact. Public comments are limited to 5 minutes per person. 6 or more people who wish to speak on a topic will be provided no more than 30 minutes total. Speakers are cautioned that under California law, no person is immune from liability for making intentionally false or defamatory comments regarding any person simply because these comments are made at a public meeting. So first up, we have Mr. Tony Plana. Welcome. There's a button.
Yes. Hi. Hello, board, cabinet, superintendent. So I'm going to keep this brief because I have a video to show you. As you know, I am a director of a vendor that brings a variety of performing arts programs after school through ELOP. And but before I say anything, I'm going to say EXL 3 times. Every time I've come up here, I forgot to mention them. EXL, EXL, EXL. Ann Pearson, Yvette Peters. They have been incredible in facilitating us with programs after school. But I'm bringing you something that through their support and also through the support of Anna Applegate, and of course the superintendent also getting his blessing, we've tried something innovative. We've tried an ELA integration with visual and performing arts filming art form. And so that's what you're going to be seeing now, LIP, Language in Play, at George Brown Jr. Elementary. So I'll let, it's amazing, it's innovating, and we're using technology that's just been developed to create amazing environments and create basically a mini series out of a book. So it's a book, a novel they read, turned into a mini series that they film and perform. It's wild, and you'll see it. So if you could run the video, please.
I guess you're stuck with me again.
Rainy, don't lose heart. Look what I found.
Hi, I'm Matt Rogers. I am a 4th and 5th grade teacher at George Brown Junior Elementary. I was first approached about doing this project, and I spoke to Tony about it. Originally, he wanted to do two separate books. We were going to do a movie the first half of the year and a second movie the second half of the year instead of doing a TV show. But The Mysterious Benedict Society is a book that I have been reading with my kids for the last 4 or 5 years. And every single time that I read it, the kids just absolutely love it. It felt like the right choice when I spoke to Tony about doing this project. I think that it works really well in helping the kids to understand what it is that they're reading and really dive into it. You know, spend time figuring out who these characters are, what this story is about. You know, it goes much deeper than a typical read of a novel.
I've never done something like that before, so I was like kind of scared to kind of put yourself inside of your character and based on how you would act in the situation as your character.
I mean, if I'm going to be completely honest, my favorite part is playing Milligan. But other than that, it's just seeing the kids, how excited they are when they see like the raw footage, and they get so excited to see themselves up on the screen. And not just the ones who are in front of the camera, but the excitement from the kids who are behind the camera. You know, like every single day when we come to set, almost every kid puts up their hand. Can I do sound? Can I do slate? Like they're so excited for what we're doing. And I think that's the best part, is just the excitement, the enthusiasm. This project has emphasized the fact that these kids can do anything if you give them the chance to do it. These kids walk in here and they are actors, and they run the sound, and they run the camera, and they do the slate, and they're doing all this stuff they never would have imagined doing last year. But now here they are, and they're doing it, and they're doing it really well.
It's different because on set you have to technically pay attention a lot more, and at school you can technically fool around a little bit, at the same time pay attention.
4B, take 2, mark.
I think that this is a great program, and I think that it can do wonders for what we as teachers want to see from our kids. Academically, this class is doing really, really well. I definitely think that there's correlation, if not causation, for the academic improvement that I've seen. The fact that they love what they're doing gets them here. It gets them in the classroom. It makes them participate. Absolutely, I think that is 100% something that more teachers should do, more schools should encourage.
Okay, so I think integrating performing arts, visual arts, even theater arts into English language arts can be a dynamic experience of language and of the arts. So I think, I've always been looking, and I've done several programs like this that have been funded by grants, but I've never had a chance at a school district to do it an entire year. And this guy challenged me. He said, well, it's a 284-page book. Let's do a mini series. I go, okay, let's do a mini series. So we're doing basically 9 episodes of 10 minutes each. And they shoot it over a 3-week period. And you see, I think that we have to find ways of integrating the arts into our core curriculum. That's what I'm about. And to have that chance, I want to thank Anna and Superintendent and Sandra Rodriguez and Pearson for being so supportive of this idea, to take what we're doing after school and find ways of integrating it without losing the learning process of the English language arts curriculum, but actually enhance it, make it more immersive, interactive, kinesthetic, which I think is really cool, especially very applicable to the kind of students you have at your school district. So thank you. I just wanted to let you know. I'll bring when I have some acting work, which is great, by the way. My wife's very happy about that. But I'll be back in March, and I'll present to you what we're doing at Del Vallejo. This is at George Brown, but at Del Vallejo, Principal Maynor and also Dominique Someda, our teacher, are doing the same thing, but with theater, taking a novel, turning it into a play, and performing it as a theatrical production. Oh, was that 5 minutes?
I think you were a minute or two over.
Oh, am I? So, actors lose track of time.
Ms. Medina?
Well, thank you for your presentation. For your for coming over and showing us this. Just to clarify though, so Arroyo Valley High School, I remember this back in the day, actually they were intending to do more of a not theater, yes, but it was more like movie type of production. And so they were supposed to have the equipment for it. So I'm curious if you can check in with them with regards to doing what you're doing at the other school sites, but they're
of course, you know that we're doing that at El Cajon High School. So it's particularly effective with IB students, IB program.
Yes, but I know that Arroyo Valley High School, when they built that school site, was with the intention to doing like a movie type of production.
I know they have a media arts career path. So yeah, I'd love to go back and explore that, but it's being very successful at Cajon, primarily because the IB students really respond to it. Yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Grande.
Excuse me, I just had a quick question. I know that Kimbark is having their AVID presentation tomorrow. Will you be there?
I can't. We had a family tragedy, and I have to go to a funeral tomorrow.
I'm so sorry.
In Santa Barbara. So I wish I could. I usually say yes when I'm here.
I know you've been there before.
No, my God, that's one of our amazing programs.
Just wondered.
Something in the water up there. The kids from there are the ones that end up in our academy on Saturdays at a disproportionate rate. So Dick Kimbark is wonderful, and you have a wonderful principal there.
Yes.
Eurydice before, and now Miss Zuniga is there now, and we love that school.
Well, I was just
no, but thank you for the invitation.
All right.
I'll be there next time. But we want to bring this program, I think, to Kimbark. The principal seems interested.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Blana. I really, really enjoy, seeing that, and hopefully we get to see more of that, because quite frankly, and I say this to my colleagues, I say this to whoever will listen. There's so much information out there for our kids to access that a lot of times if we don't engage them in school, they really sometimes don't see the value because they can learn the information now at their fingertips. Anything they want to know, anything they want to learn. So this to me is innovation. This to me is engagement.
Yes.
This to me is just, you know, you're capturing the hearts, the motivation, the desire.
Well, the right brain.
I like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
thank you so much.
You heard the testimony. I mean, that teacher's flying high. So are the kids. So
Thank
you
you.
should
So-
come and see it sometime.
Absolutely. Thank
Right.
you so much. We appreciate
You're
it.
welcome. Thank you very much.
Up next, we have our SBTA president, Ms. Barbara Paschek-Cox. Welcome.
Well, good evening, President Ceballos, Vice President Abeles Grande, Mr. Ariano, and esteemed members of the board and cabinet. My name is Barbara Paschek-Cox, and I'm proud to serve as the president for the San Bernardino Teachers Association. And tonight I stand before you not just as an individual, but also the voice of more than 3,000 educators who show up each and every day with an unwavering commitment in shaping the minds and the futures of our students. As we begin a new year, we are reminded of the spirit of renewal and the opportunity to chart a better path forward for our community. January also calls on us to reflect on the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a leader who challenged us to expand justice, equity, and opportunity for all. In education, that call lives on in our classrooms, in the futures we help shape, and in the belief that every student deserves the chance to thrive. This month also offers our community a special moment to honor the memory and legacy of Dr. Margaret Hill, a beloved educator, author, board member, and fierce advocate for our children. Dr. Hill devoted her life to the students of San Bernardino and to the work of equity, service, and community uplift. The board's recognition of January 17th as All About the Children Day is a powerful reminder of her enduring belief that every child matters and that our work must always center on their well-being and potential. Her legacy continues to inspire educators across the district, including members of SBTA who show up each day committed to the children of this community. Tonight, I also want to express our deep appreciation for the work that went into reaching a tentative agreement. We are incredibly grateful for the efforts of our SBTA negotiations team and the district's bargaining team led by Dr. Doizan. This agreement represents more than just a contract. It reflects a shared commitment to valuing and prioritizing educators who are the backbone of this district. Thank you for recognizing the importance of investing in those who serve our students every day. I also want to highlight the ongoing spirit of collaboration between SBTA and the district leadership. This partnership continues to grow. We're especially thankful for your support as we begin working alongside CTA on a critical initiative, the extension of Proposition 55. With the district's partnership, we are mobilizing our members to gather signed petitions that will help protect more than $75 million in funding, resources that directly impact our classrooms, our students, and our schools, and most importantly, our students. This is a moment that calls for unity and bold action. We are proud to stand shoulder to shoulder with the district leadership and our community allies because we know that together we can secure the future of public education for San Bernardino. This work, this advocacy, ensures continued support for students, families, communities who rely on us. Our educators, our classrooms, and our children deserve the very best in resources, in support, and in compensation. That's why our members are stepping up, gathering signatures and engaging their colleagues and making sure their voices are heard. Because the extension of Proposition 55 isn't just about dollars. It's about dignity, opportunity, and the promise of a brighter, more equitable future for each student in our district. As we honor Dr. King's legacy, Dr. Hill's profound commitment to children, and the promise of a new year, may we continue striving together toward the values of equity, justice, and the opportunity that define public education at its best. Thank you for your time, your leadership, and your continued support. Have a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Up next, we have Miss Sarah Basson.
Good evening, President, members of the board, and superintendent. My name is Sarah Basson, and I'm here on behalf of an elementary school student with a physical disability. Over the past few months, this student has been subjected to unwanted bullying and harassment. This student reported the bullying multiple times, yet nothing was done. Students are told what to do when situations like these occur, but when they speak up, they are shut down and their concerns are swept under the rug as if nothing. But it's not just nothing. This is someone's education. School should be a place where students feel safe, not a place they go home crying to their parents and family. And what happens when nothing is done? Nothing gets solved. People give up on what they need most help with. And unfortunately, in cases like bullying, people take their lives for these exact reasons. Nobody has more power to change this than the board. And I'm here not for just this one student. I'm here for every student that has been shut down, not heard, swept under the rug, or is forced to endure the pain every single day because they are tired of speaking up to an administration that won't help. And unfortunately for this particular student that I'm speaking on the behalf of, he was bullied for a disability he has no control over. He was mocked, humiliated in front of others. And when he came forward, people acted as if it was normal. Not only did the student go to multiple administrators, but his family did as well. And they were told the situation was too complicated. Despite his disability, the student should not have been subjected to any bullying at all. Instead of following education codes 200, 220, and 234, this student was placed on independent study. Rather than removing the problem, we removed the victim. Nothing was implemented because the situation was considered too hard. If anything, this student with the disability should have been more prioritized in this situation. Unfortunately, he was not. So my question to the board is, why wasn't this student more protected under these education codes? And why wasn't more done to prevent this situation from happening? And what is the district's plan to make every school safer, not just this one? I'm requesting a following up meeting regarding the student and the district's plan to make every school safer.
Thank you so much for your comment. We definitely will have somebody following up with you if they haven't already, and I will personally make sure that I'm keeping up with the progress of that.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate that. Have a good evening.
You as well. And I believe that is all of our comments for tonight. We're going to go ahead and move on to 4.0 closed session, 4.1 closed session public comments. Do we have any?
No, we do not.
Do you want to make a public comment on a closed session? ¿Quería hacer un comentario para el closed session? Okay, está bien.
Normalmente tiene que llenar una forma que está a tu mano. Hay una forma ya también, si lo puede llenar. Hay una...
So a la entrada hay un papelito azul que cuando hace un comentario público se llenan, pero como es su primera vez y no sabía, está bien, se lo van a llenar y puede pasar. Yeah, she needs to, thank you.
Pero si puede llenar la forma.
Sí.
Ahí está, ahí la tiene la señora. ¿O después? Okay.
Hola, buenas tardes. Yo vengo a hablar un poco de lo que está pasando en Marshall School, en San Bernardino.
Hi, good evening. I'm here today to speak about what's happening at Marshall School.
Mi niño Edgar Trujillo asiste en esa escuela. Ya tengo un año reportando que una persona de la escuela, la que cuida a los niños los que comen, los rackets.
So my son Edgar Trujillo attends this school for over a year. I've been reporting that there's a person that watch for the children at the moment they eat during lunch.
Ella me la empezó a decir cosas como, mi niño es autista tiene problemas como lento aprendizaje. He hecho muchos reclamos a la directora. Llegué ahora a hablar con la jefa de la directora.
So my child is autistic. He has a learning disability. I've been making several reports to the administrator.
Le dije todo lo que estaba pasando a la directora. Una cosa de la que hizo la señora que cuida a los niños en la escuela es de que siempre lo regañó porque mi niño toma su leche, hace la galleta dentro de la leche y ella lo insultó, le dijo cosas que no debería hacer eso. Después mi niño, pues él no da la cara.
So one of the things that I have chatted with the administrator is that my child, when he drinks his milk, he introduces the cracker into the milk, and this person has insulted or said improper things to my child, things that she shouldn't be doing. Yep.
Yo hice el reporte a la directora porque ya llegó al punto de que cuando mi hijo, él nunca da la cara, son niños que nunca te van a dar la cara, él siempre trae el hoodie puesto en su cabecita. Esta persona vino y le quitó el hoodie estirándole sus pelos, su pelo a mi niño. Reporté eso y no hizo nada la directora.
So I made a report to the administrator because there was this, he will never stand up for himself. He is that type of child. So that he will never come forward for himself, stand up for himself. He always has his hoodie on top of him, like covering his head. One day this person came and he removed the hoodie from his head, stretching his hair. And I reported that to the administrator and she didn't do anything.
La directora de la escuela y por eso yo llegué al distrito a hacer ese reporte. Hice reporte a la policía también porque nadie puede tocar a un niño en la escuela. La última cosa ahorita que acaba de pasar, que también ya hice reporte, mi niño, supuestamente yo estoy trabajando con él en el comportamiento y nada menos de todo lo que pasó con esta señora Missy, la que cuida a los niños en la escuela.
So I made this report to the district. I made it to the administrator. I made the report to the police. And the last thing that just happened, and I made a report as well about my child, is that supposedly this person that is working, I'm working with him in his behavior and everything that happened with this lady, the one that cares for the children. It's why, it's because.
Al último, que supuestamente la directora lo único que me dice que está trabajando con él, su castigo de ellos hacia ella, que ahora yo tuve una meeting exactamente con ellos aquí, con la directora y con la jefa de la directora, porque me lo sacaron de clases, me lo pusieron a lavar los trastes en la cafetería por 2 horas, lo pusieron a cargar sillas pesadas y aparte lo pusieron a poner la carne del hot dog al pan, cosa que yo mando a mi niño a estudiar, no a que me lo pongan a trabajar.
So one of the things that happened is, and I think as a punishment for him because they were working with him on his behavior, is that he was put to wash the trays of the cafeteria for about a couple of hours, then to order the chairs. They were heavy, and he was put to put the meat on the buns. Mm-hmm. The thing is that I sent my child to school to study and not to do these things, like to work, right?
Cuando yo hago estos complaints, que ya lo hice a la directora Miss DeVary, que es la directora de Marshall School, ya llegué ahorita a hablar con la jefa de ella. Supuestamente nomás me dicen que van a investigar, y es lo que yo les he dicho, que hasta cuándo van a parar de investigar y hacer algo, porque esa persona sigue trabajando para niños cuando ella, Missy, no está preparada para trabajar con niños en esa escuela, en ninguna escuela, porque los niños no son para insultar. Aparte, me le dijo la palabra F 5 veces en su carita, cuando no debe de hacer eso.
So besides speaking to the administrator, I have spoken to the district and her supervisor about this issue, basically asking why they're having this person that is not really prepared to work with children. And they told me they are going to investigate about this. Besides that, this person mentioned or vocalized the F word like five times to my child.
Cuando yo hice ese reclamo, a pesar de que Missy aceptó decirle esas palabras, malas palabras, porque nomás dijo eso, malas palabras, nunca escuchan a mi hijo. Se ha quejado con la directora, ya mi hijo no ha querido ir a la escuela. Tiene días faltando a la escuela porque no se siente seguro en la escuela.
So when I reported it, Missy apparently she accepted that she had said the F words. But my son is not listen. My son has complained with the administrator. Right now, my son doesn't want to go to school. He's been missing school for days because he doesn't feel safe at school.
Ahora lo quise llevar a la escuela y me dice que tiene miedo que lo vuelvan a poner a lavar por 2 horas trastes cuando supuestamente no hay ninguna ley que permitan sacar a los niños de estudiar para poderlos hacer cosas en las escuelas.
And recently I asked him, I wanted to take him to school, and he said he didn't want to go because he's afraid he's put to do those chores again, because he's not supposed to be doing that at the schools, and there's no law that requires that the children are, they're there to study and not to do that work at school.
So yo quisiera saber dónde o cómo me pueden ayudar a llegar al punto de que como una persona que insulta, maltrata, toca a los niños, no es mi primer niño, estoy levantando la voz porque muchas mujeres en esa escuela han pasado por muchas, porque yo lo posteé en San Bernardino, y ahí hablaron muchas mujeres que no se han atrevido a hablar por sus hijos. Y yo estoy levantando la voz por otros niños también, no nomás por mi hijo.
So I'd like someone to help me understand where I should talk or how, because I'm raising the voice for my child or for many other children, and also women that doesn't have the courage to talk. I have even posted about this in Facebook and San Bernardino, and there are other women that have mentioned the same thing, but they have not raised their voice to express these difficulties.
Cuando le pregunto a la directora, lo único dice que va a investigar, y es porque ella es amiga de esas personas y está encubriendo que no le importa lo que mi niño está pasando. Cuando yo le digo, no puedes hacer eso, menos con un niño especial, no puedes hacer eso, que ponerlo a lavar, no creo que haya una justificación para castigar a un niño y ponerlo a lavar todos esos trastes por 2 horas.
So when I have talked to the administrator, she says to me that she's going to investigate, that she is apparently a friend of these people, that she's uncovering, she doesn't seem to care what my child is going through. When I say to her that you cannot make a child with special needs do those chores, you cannot put him to wash the dishes or the trays. I don't think there's justification to punish a child and put him to do the dishes or washing the trays for a couple of hours.
Lo tuve que llevar a emergencias porque llegó quemado de sus manos. Tengo pruebas donde yo lo llevé de emergencias. Se le quemó su carita del agua caliente que estaba usando cuando él hacía complaint de que se estaba quemando y nadie lo escuchaba.
I had to take my child to emergency ER. He was complaining that his hands were burned and also part of his face for doing that job.
So, es por eso que estoy aquí. Gracias por escucharme y espero que alguien me pueda ayudar en esta situación porque la directora tiene que hacer algo.
So I just wanted to add, my child, when he was doing those things, he was complaining, but no one seemed to be able to help him. So I'm here to see if someone can do something for me about this.
Thank you.
Gracias.
We have a question, Mr. Tillman.
So thank you very much for coming out today, and I'm sure the superintendent is going to meet with you and get the information to follow up and make sure that the board is aware of the changes that happen. But I also want to ask this in general. We don't force students to work in the cafeteria, do we? And if a parent says they don't want their kid to volunteer in the cafeteria, then they don't, right?
Correct. Yeah, and we don't do that as a matter of practice, but I will definitely investigate the situation. I know Dr. Doizan met with you today, so she has the information. So we're going to look into what happened and remedy the situation. So.
And that's why I want to thank you for coming, because we need to look into those type of things. You say you talk to other parents, but I want to guarantee you that it's not right that someone forces a student to work in the cafeteria. The only way a student should be working in the cafeteria is if they volunteer to work in the cafeteria. But there's no way that they should be working in the cafeteria if they don't want to work there and the parent doesn't want them to work in there. They shouldn't be in the cafeteria working. I can guarantee that. So we'll definitely rectify that situation. And thank you for coming and making us aware of that.
Gracias por escucharme.
Thank you for listening to me.
Muchas gracias. Okay, and I think that was part of regular public comment. So there were no closed session public comments, correct? Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and move on to 4.2 closed session, and we will adjourn to closed session now. Thank you. All right. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. 5.0 action reported from closed session. 5.1 expulsion of students. Be it resolved, the Board of Education accepts and adopts the recommendation and findings of the hearing panel based on a review of the panel's finding of facts and recommendations, and orders the expulsion of the following students with the identification numbers as listed below in accordance with the board rules and regulations and in compliance with Ed Code Section 48900.
Second.
Moved by Dr. Wyatt, second by Mr. Tillman. Vote, please. Motion carries. 5.2 lift, readmit of expulsion of students. Can I get a motion?
Move.
Second.
Moved by Mrs. Alexander, second by Dr. Wyatt. Vote, please. Motion carries. Be it resolved, the Board of Education authorizes the readmission of the following students with the identification numbers as listed to schools of the San Bernardino City Unified School District and in accordance with board rules and regulations and in compliance with Ed Code Section 48900. 5.3 petition to expunge, rescind, sealing of record, or modify youth court or expulsion.
Vote. Second.
Moved by Mr. Tillman, second by Dr. Wyatt. Any discussion? Hearing none, vote please. Motion carries. Be it resolved, the Board of Education authorizes the expulsion or youth court modification, expunsion, or rescinding of the following students with identification numbers as listed to schools of the San Bernardino City Unified School District in accordance with board rules and regulations and in compliance with Ed Code Section 48900. 5.4 other closed session action. There is none. 6.0 student board members, 6.1 student board members reports and comments, and we'll go ahead and get started first with Ms. Martinez Sosa.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Remy Martinez Sosa. I am a junior attending and representing Indian Springs High School. To begin, I wanted to take a moment to share how grateful I am for our hardworking custodians, which maintain our school sites, keeping them polished and remaining clean and safe. They do not nearly get as much recognition as they deserve. But did you know that students are more willing to go to school when the environment is clean and kept up? Next, I wanted to share what has been going on at Indian Springs High School. First, we hosted a 3-day basketball tournament where Key Club members could volunteer at the snack bar for community service hours. Then, on the 22nd of January, there'll be a blood drive in which avid students are going to each classroom to promote it, and it is held where students could earn a $10 In-N-Out gift card for donating to the cause, ultimately helping many patients in need. With winter sports beginning, many students have been working hard over winter break to strengthen their skills. In junior math classes, teachers have been working alongside students for the SBAC and CASP testing in spring. Many third-year pathway students are registered for Valley College dual enrollment in their second semester to learn their credentials and college credits that are given work skills. Last year, our DigCheck program got new MacBook desktops, which work wonderfully to express our talents through Adobe Illustrator, Photoshop, and more. The next school I'll be sharing is Pacific High School. They are renovating the school of their beautiful new upcoming buildings and brand new buildings at the school site. They are also starting up boys tennis season, which will be their second year returning back to it. They are having a food distribution of pure land, which will provide many families in need of food and drinks. Lastly, they are starting track as well. The final school I'll be sharing about is San Bernardino High School. They have had wrestling tournaments, theater musical auditions for the next show, and track and field conditions starting today. Lastly, they're preparing for students for the upcoming SAT. During our last SAC meeting, we took a survey to examine our 5 main personality types when it comes to leadership. With this examination, it revealed who we were as people. Then we created a flyer on Canva to collect more student voice and ideas to get more people interested in sharing their ideas, such as raffles or prizes. Last, we had our speaker come in and talk about and I might butcher this, but Chi Act, which were given a community service opportunity by El Jardín de la Salud. With that being said, thank you for listening and have a lovely night.
Thank you so much, Ms. Martinez Sosa. Up next, we have Ms. Hernandez Garcia.
Good evening. My name is Brisa Hernandez Garcia, and I'm a senior at Middle College High School. So firstly, I would like to start off by thanking Ms. Rogers simply for being there with us and being a mentor for us. And now going into what's been happening at Middle College, last semester, the MCHS students in the Adobe pathway completed their certification exams in either Photoshop, InDesign, or Premiere Pro, as well as getting a new computer lab full of MacBooks. The MCHS cheerleaders attended the MLK parade on Monday, so yesterday, and today college classes for the middle college students started, and later this month, Middle College will have its first semester awards ceremony, as well as NHS is currently holding a clothing drive. At Sanji, their soccer team is doing well, and the school recently had a pep rally, and this month they are having a winter formal, expectations assembly, and a blood drive. Their band and cheerleaders also attended the MLK parade. For Cajon High School, their speech and debate team and wrestling teams are doing well in competition. The Cajon mock trial team also made it to semifinals. The cheer team won number 1 at the USA cheer tournament. The Cajon athletes would also like to thank the MNO team for finishing up the gym. They are enjoying the new upgraded facility. And then next Tuesday, they are holding their House of Representatives meeting where students will voice their opinions on the issues facing Cajon, but also highlight the key moments from the year. Finally, the school is also planning their winter ball and senior events. We did not have a SLAC meeting this month, and that concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Hernandez Garcia. And up next, we have Ms. Cervantes.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to thank President Ceballos and Vice President Navides, as well as the board members and Superintendent Arellano, for having me today. I'm Valeria Cervantes, a junior and a representative from Arroyo Valley High School. Continuing with this thought, I would also like to thank all the custodians, since they're like our quiet heroes who are always ensuring our campuses are clean. I've seen how well maintained Arroyo Valley is, showing a clean and welcoming environment that helps students feel safe and focused throughout the school year. At Arroyo Valley, as we head into January, the excitement is building for the winter formal, set to take place on February 7th, promising a night full of unforgettable memories. Our theater company is also preparing for auditions for their upcoming production, James and the Giant Peach, giving students a chance to showcase their creativity and passion for the visual arts. We recently celebrated the grand opening of the Hawks store, a new space that strengthens the student spirit and student involvement. Additionally, Arroyo Valley High School is proud to partner with the Institution of Geospatial Impact, AIRSRES, San Bernardino City Unified School District, and the teacher Sam Moore to bring college-level GIS learning opportunities to our students, expanding academic pathways and real-world skills. Continuing with this thought, San Andres is preparing for graduation season by hosting supportive workshops for our outgoing seniors, guiding them through the college application process and helping them understand financial aid options as they plan for life after high school. At the same time, the Sierras College and Career Center has been actively supporting students by assisting with college planning and equipping them with the skills needed for their career choice. Together, these efforts reflect a strong commitment to ensure students feel confident, prepared, and supported as they transition to a new life chapter. Therefore, these are some of the things highlighted by the schools. Thank you again for having me.
Thank you, Ms. Cervantes. Up next, we have 7.0 action items. 7.1 personnel report, number 13, dated January 2026, which contains actions such as hiring, retirements, resignations, promotions, and terminations. It's presented.
Vote.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Tillman, second by Ms. Medina. Discussion? Vote, please. Ms. Martinez Sosa?
Aye.
Ms. Hernandez Garcia?
Aye.
Ms. Cervantes?
Aye.
Ms. Grande?
Motion carries. Be resolved, the Board of Education approves personnel report number 13 dated January 20, 2026 as presented. 7.3 approval of physical education course permanent exemptions.
Move. Okay.
Moved by Dr. Wyatt, second by Mr. Tillman. Vote please. Ms. Martinez Sosa?
Aye.
Ms. Hernandez Garcia?
Aye.
Ms. Cervantes?
Aye.
Thank you.
President Ceballos, I think you skipped 7.2.
Sorry, I'm looking at the paper instead of the screen, and there's no 7.2 on the paper. So yeah, it's okay. You're right. So let me go back. 7.2 approval of 25-26 school plans for student achievement modifications.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Tillman, second by Dr. Wyatt. Vote please. Ms. Martinez Sosa?
Aye.
Ms. Hernandez Garcia?
Aye.
And Ms. Cervantes?
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, now 7.3 approval of physical education course permanent exemptions.
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Alexander, second by Mr. Tillman. Vote please. Motion carries. 7.4 resolution in support of application requesting use of grant funding for new construction project.
Moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Tillman, second by Mrs. Alexander. Vote please. Ms. Martinez Sosa?
Aye.
Ms. Hernandez Garcia?
Aye.
And Ms. Cervantes?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries. 7.5 approval of charter renewal petition for Sword Charter Academy.
Moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Tillman, second by Dr. Wyatt. A vote please. Ms. Martinez Sosa?
Aye.
Ms. Hernandez Garcia?
Aye.
And Ms. Cervantes?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries. 7.6 resolution authorizing the release of bond public opinion survey to the general public. Do I have a motion for that?
Second.
Moved by Ms. Alvarez Grande and second by Dr. Wyatt. Vote please, or discussion? Vote please. Ms. Martinez Sosa?
Aye.
Ms. Hernandez Garcia?
Aye.
And Ms. Cervantes?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries. Be it resolved, the San Bernardino City Unified School District Board of Education hereby approves and authorizes the release of the bond public opinion survey as prepared by True North Research Inc. to the general public. 2, confirms that the survey is advisory in nature and intended solely to gather public input and opinions related to potential future bond planning efforts. And 3, authorizes district staff to take all action necessary to right, so I'm reading the, yeah. to effectuate the public release of the survey on or after January 21st, 2026. 7.7, approval of board monthly compensation increase.
Moved.
Moved by Mr. Tillman, second by Mr. Santos. Any discussion? Vote, please. Ms. Martinez Sosa?
Aye.
Ms. Hernandez Garcia?
Aye.
Ms. Cervantes?
Aye.
Motion carries. 8.0 consent items. 8.1 approval of consent list.
Moved.
Moved by Mr. Tillman, second by Mr. Santos. Are there any items to be pulled? Seeing none, vote please. Ms. Martinez Sosa?
Aye.
Ms. Garcia?
Aye.
Ms. Cervantes?
Aye.
Motion carries. 9.0 reports and comments by union organizations. 9.1 San Bernardino Teachers Association.
No comment, no report.
9.2 California School Employees Association.
No report.
Communications Workers of America.
No report.
And 9.4 San Bernardino School Police Officers Association.
No report.
Okay, 10.0 mandated policy revisions. We have 10.1 approval and adoption of board policy 1250 visitors/outsiders.
Moved.
Moved by Mr. Tillman, second by Dr. Wyatt. Vote please. I'll just do it independently. Ms. Martinez Sosa?
Aye.
Ms. Hernandez Garcia?
Aye.
And Ms. Cervantes?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries. 10.2 approval and adoption of board policy 4030 non-discrimination in employment.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Dr. Wyatt, second by Mr. Santos. Vote please. Ms. Martinez Sosa?
Aye.
Ms. Garcia?
Aye.
Ms. Cervantes?
Aye.
Motion carries. 10.3 approval and adoption of board policy 5125 student records.
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Alexander, second by Mr. Tillman. Vote please. Ms. Martinez Sosa?
Aye.
Ms. Garcia?
Aye.
Ms. Cervantes?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries. 10.4 approval and adoption of board policy 5145.3 non-discrimination/harassment.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Tillman, second by Mr. Santos. Vote please. Ms. Martinez Sosa?
Aye.
Ms. Garcia?
Aye.
Ms. Cervantes?
Aye.
Motion carries. 10.5 approval and adoption of board policy 5145.7 sexual harassment.
Move. Second.
I'm sorry, who moved it?
Dr. Wyatt.
Dr. Wyatt moved it and Mr. Tillman second. Vote please. Ms. Martinez Sosa?
Aye.
Ms. Hernandez Garcia?
Aye.
And Ms. Cervantes?
Aye.
Motion carries. 10.6, approval and adoption of Board Policy 5145.13, response to immigration enforcement.
Move.
Second.
Moved by, I'm sorry, who moved it? Dr. Wyatt, second by Mr. Tillman. And we do have discussion. Ms. Medina?
Yes, no, I definitely support the language. I just have additional additions that I would like to maybe even through the AR, the administrative regulations, is to, because SB 627 was passed, and that is for those that come into campus wearing a mask. Now, there are exceptions, and SB 627 does indicate that, but if I would like for those that do come on campus, of course, it's noted here that they have to identify themselves and have their badge and so forth, but there's no mention regarding masks or with the intention to hide their face or identity, so I just want to make sure that some type of language is included, and maybe have our legal team review it, and then maybe at a different time bring it back so we can, if there's any suggestions for that item. But there is a law that was recently passed. I mean, thank you.
Thank you. So we're going to vote on it, and then we're going to bring it back once modification to language. Okay. Vote, please. Ms. Martinez Sosa?
Aye.
Ms. Hernandez Garcia?
Aye.
Ms. Cervantes?
Aye.
Motion carries. 10.7, approval and adoption of Board Policy 5146, married, pregnant, parenting students.
Move.
Moved by Mrs. Alexander, second by Mr. Tillman. Vote, please. Ms. Martinez Sosa?
Aye.
Ms. Hernandez Garcia?
Aye.
Ms. Cervantes?
Aye.
Motion carries. 10.8, approval and adoption of Board Policy 6145, extracurricular and co-curricular activities.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Tillman, second by Ms. Medina. Vote, please. Ms. Martinez Sosa?
Aye.
Ms. Hernandez Garcia?
Aye.
And Ms. Cervantes?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries. 10.9, approval and adoption of Board Policy 6145.2, athletic competition.
Second.
Moved by Dr. Wyatt, second by Mr. Tillman. Vote, please. Ms. Martinez Sosa?
Aye.
Ms. Hernandez Garcia?
Aye.
Ms. Cervantes?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries. 10.10, approval and adoption of Board Policy 5141.21, administering medication, monitoring health conditions.
Moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Tillman, second by Dr. Wyatt. Vote, please. Ms. Martinez Sosa?
Aye.
Ms. Hernandez Garcia?
Aye.
Ms. Cervantes?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries. 10.11, approval and adoption of Board Policy 5111, admission.
Moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Tillman, second by Mrs. Alexander. Vote, please. Ms. Martinez Sosa?
Aye.
Ms. Hernandez Garcia?
Aye.
Ms. Cervantes?
Aye.
Thank you.
Mrs. Alexander?
Motion carries. 11.0 reports and comments. 11.1 board members. Do I have any volunteers? Mr. Tillman?
I just want to thank Lou Dowdy and the organization that put on the Martin Luther King Parade in San Bernardino. It was a great event. I want to commend the superintendent and other district staff for coordinating and facilitating the different district groups that participated. They all look wonderful. It was just a perfect day. I really think the school district's involvement made the parade, and it definitely helped make it a success. So just want to commend you for that, and thank the organizers. And then, you know, I was talking to, I saw a friend in the community and said, "Hey, how you doing?" And they responded, "Wow, things are pretty bad." And sometimes we lose sight of the fear and stress that a lot of our community members are feeling because of the whole thing going on with the immigration stuff. So I just want to make sure we as a district don't lose sight of the fact that a lot of families are struggling, and there's a lot of fear out there, and whatever we can do to alleviate some of those fears and reduce some of the stress, I hope as a district we make sure we do everything we can to make things better for our parents and students, because it means a lot. And we don't want to take it for granted, the emotional impact that it's having on our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else want to go next? Miss Avalos Grande?
I agree with board member Tillman. I just, it's hard to keep a smile on our face and cheery and look at the bright side of things and come and tell you what a wonderful experience I had at the nutrition center. But I have to tell you, I would like for us all to go as a school board to visit the nutrition center and get the tour that I had. I thank God for Judy Penman and her program, and I don't think I would have made such an impact on me if I hadn't gone in with my always already thinking that, oh, you know, I've seen everything. But my eyes were opened, and I kid you not, I say it along the same time I go to visit a church, and I felt like I was in a holy place at the nutrition center. I could almost hear, oh, and you go into a warehouse-sized refrigerator with enough food to feed over 40,000 children, and those stacks and stacks that are so neat and legible, and they know where everything is, the dates, everything. And this tour is unbelievable. And I felt it was very spiritual. It was a spiritual experience, and I know I didn't just make this up. Those people that work there, the staff there, are so in love with their job and what they do. They're so imbued with that sense of they have to get everything right because hundreds and thousands of children depend on it. And each and every one of them is like a hubbub of activity to see vats, mixers that are taller than me, to see the cold boxes that were church-sized. I don't know exactly how large it was, but just walking through, by the time we left, we were like frozen. And we all ran through that. So please, if we can find a date, all 7 of us. But there's a part that stays sad with me for us and our families, what they're going through. And then I just want to make a quick note, because I haven't brought these posters. I went to La Concecha conference in Albuquerque, New Mexico last fall, and it was an incredible experience. And every time I was in the hotel that was connected to it by this very, very long hall, and I went through there, and every time I went through, they were giving away 1,000 posters from all the past. And every time I went, I picked one up. I couldn't help it. They were so beautiful, and I brought them to share. I just wanted to get enough to share, right? Well, I did. And then I had to go back and figure out how I'm going to get them in my suitcase and how I was going to tie them up. So every time I had all this time to think about it. And finally, when the day came, I had a stack like this high that I had to roll up very, very tightly. And I used plastic bags that the hotel brought me. And I twisted them up so they're very strong. So I tied them up. And then I had some belt or something, I don't know. So they're nice and tight. Got it in my suitcase. And I would have been overweight had not the airline hostess there helped me. And they said, no, you can put that in your sack that's carry-on. So they all helped me unpack my bag because it made it like 6 pounds over. So I'm there all strewn around, and they did help me. So hats off to my airline that used that. So I feel very special, and I have not brought them in because I'm not going to unroll them at home. I'm going to bring them. And so next board meeting, I will bring them and lay them out, and you can pick out whichever ones you want. There's lots of them. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you. Ms. Medina?
Definitely want to acknowledge again, I know it was mentioned, the parade, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s parade. David Sanchez, Mr. Sanchez, thank you and the whole team. Chavez, I don't know where I put it, and I wrote it down too, because I call you David all the time, it's David. And so the work that you all did was amazing. And I seen a whole bunch of staff working on a Monday, and the amount of dedication and work, and then they were able to recruit amazing cars for us and the owners. I got to ride with Michael Chavez, and just beautiful, beautiful people. And seeing the children, seeing our school sites, seeing families out there, I left with a great open heart. So I really appreciate our district's support in that, and then looking for next year. At the same time, as you see what the messaging of Dr. Martin Luther King would say, and the realization that communities of color are being targeted in the streets in different states right now, but even in our own backyard, we've had it here in San Bernardino, and it's hard because it's a reality for many of our families, many of our students, fearful for their parents. And I'm really proud that our district is still continuing to move that safety for our families, safety for our students, safety for our staff is crucial. It's an important piece of who we are, and we're going to continue to teach, and we're going to continue to have our students learn in a way that they won't have to worry about the outside world, at least while they're in school. So I just want to say thank you to our district for continuing to prioritize our families and our staff first. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Wyatt?
Thank you, Madam President. I got actually quite a list today. And I just want to say congratulations to Kimber Sargent. I wasn't here when you were recognized. I was parked on the freeway, but probably say not so nice things. But now that I saw your recognition, congratulations. I've seen you in action probably dozens of times. And how you interact with our community, definitely during the LCAP process, is extremely important because of the relationships that we build with our community, and she does a masterful job. So definitely worthy of a state recognition, that's for sure. A lot going on. The PIA, our Pacific Islander Advisory Committee, met this week, and a lot of great things happening there. And looking forward, we're going to have, I think, about 5 or 6 student ambassadors presenting at CapelCon 26. I think they're going to do an absolutely amazing job. Can't wait for that. I know a lot of people are looking forward to that presentation, me being one of them. Shout out to our Cajon mock trial team. They made it to the semifinals, and I'll say this, they should be going to the finals, but I'll leave it at that. I understand the scoring process, but I know I was there the second night, and they did win their case. I won't say against who, but they won their case the night I was there, so don't know what happened that first night, but they did a heck of a job when I was there. And I say it all the time, all the high schools and kids that are there, wow, we have a great future ahead of us. You need some lawyers, just go to one of those mock trials. They're ready to become lawyers here in the near future. Our All About the Children Day, Dr. Margaret Hill, and we give a shout out to Maggie's Foundation, Dr. Rogers, a lot of those folks for putting on an amazing event, honoring our amazing colleague and friend and mentor, Dr. Margaret Hill. Real special event, and we're continuing her legacy, making sure we honor her and the work that we do for our kids in our community. So thank you to them as well. And then the MLK parade, can't say enough about that as well. And I'm gonna give a little bit different shout outs. Definitely our staff. Staff did, as Mr. Tillman and everybody else said, amazing job. And Sanchez, to Ibushi, Boucher, Toby, Boucher. Is it Boucher like Water Boy? Boucher. Okay. I like Boucher better. Sounds good. What is it, Terry?
It is Boucher.
Oh, Boucher. Sorry, Toby, I botched that bad, but totally thank you, President Ms. Garcia. Our interim chief, Arias, I know they're laughing at me because I went by in my truck and I was like a little kid. So, I got to give a special shout out to Brian and the Road Machines Club. I was in a 55 Chevy pickup, and, that was special to me because we have a 58 Apache in my family. And like I said, I thought I was a little kid in that truck. And so that was a really great event. And 70 PD, too, is out there. So got to make sure we give a shout out to our partners in the city. But amazing event, great turnout. The crowd was very energetic, very positive, and so thank you to them as well, our community, for coming out to see our students. And then, a little shout out to County Supervisor Joe Baca. We had a little incident in our Royal Valley High School where some of our equipment was stolen from our baseball program. They gave a very generous donation. I talked to Terry as well, Mr. Komnick, and I know our district's stepping right up to help replace items that were stolen. So it's that kind of reaction just from our local community in our district that says, you're not going to spoil our day. You're not going to rain on our parade. Our kids are going to get their stuff right back and probably even nicer, newer equipment. So thank you for doing us a favor for us being able to replace that stuff with new stuff. So I'll make it a positive. Saturday night, just want to give another shout out to some of our staff and students who performed what's known as the Sinologue. It's a dance that honors some Christian traditions and religious traditions in the Philippines at the Filipino American Association, San Diego County. Amazing job. Got some great pictures I want to share with folks. Again, just our staff and students out there in our community representing us in many different ways, our different cultures, the different arts that we have. And that was a lot of fun for me. We also got to meet with the international Filipino ambassador to the Philippines. So quite an honor for our students and staff and myself to meet him. Youngest ever in the history of the nation. He was 18 years old. He looked like he was like 14. We look young, but I was like, how old are you? But yeah, that was awesome. But just a lot of great things happening in the city of San Bernardino, and I continue to say it as like what Superintendent Arias says: "The district goes, the city goes," and we continue to lead that way and lead that charge. And I know we're going to be the transformation of this city, and we will be. I know that. I'm still reaching out to our city partners, telling them thank you every chance we can, but this darn bridge committee needs to meet. All right, we need to meet, get out there, and make great things happen in the city of San Bernardino. And I'll tell you, we continue to shine. Thank you, boss.
Thank you, Dr. Wyatt. Mrs. Alexander.
Thank you. I would like to just say also congratulations to Kimber Sargent on your award. Well deserved. Wanted to also say I attended the banquet for the MLK banquet, but I didn't have an opportunity to attend the parade, but I just saw the wonderful pictures. And I remember 3 years ago, we didn't have the presence that we had yesterday. So it was awesome. It was good to see the students out there and their uniforms, but also I saw a lot of teachers, and the coordination it's not light. So thank you, David Chavez, because I know you've been meeting for quite some time. So great job to you and your staff. I wanted to end with a quote by Dr. King, but of course I just lost it. My goodness. Intelligence plus character, that is a goal of true education. And it's a quote by Dr. King. But what's important about that is that he often reflected about his education, his experiences that he had in the classroom. And who would have thought that, the teachers that were making a strong impression on him, that he would become the man that he is and he has remained in terms of his spirit. So what I like to impart is just in terms of education, we have to continue to foster that environment where everybody's seen and where everybody's heard. And it was so important to see those teachers out there yesterday because they were living that dream. However, we need to continue that. So I just wanted to end my comments with it's so important what we do in the classroom and how we treat our students and our scholars. And what we also do as we represent our students. And we make a lot of important decisions, and just having that intentionality. I know we don't take it light, but I just want to make sure that we continue to do right by our school district and the 43,000 students that we're responsible for. And that's it.
Thank you. Mr. Santos?
Thank you very much. Yeah, I want to echo a lot of the same sentiments. Mr. Chavez, great job.
I think it was Nancy Carrillo. I'm horrible with names, but she's with our preschool program. She was driving that car, bumping that music. I mean, oh yeah, the vibe was great. So I want to reach out to her. You know, my wife was with me. My two kids were at Chavez. Were also part of the parade and participating with their school. So I think it was a great event, a wonderful community event, recognizing a great person in our history. So again, the district being involved, the community, I think it was just a wonderful event.
Thank you. Ms. Abeles Grande, I think you forgot something.
Yes, I did give a speech at that parade, by the way, and I won't say the whole thing because I don't want to spend 3 whole minutes on it, but I do want to share with you my favorite part of it. It's just a little piece, and it was this. Martin Luther King Day reminds us to give love and thanks to parents, our incredibly dedicated district staff, plus our good town citizens who care deeply about preparing students for the future. Love and thanks also to our concerned governmental leaders and our nonprofit organizations who do so very much for our kids and families who live in our neighborhoods and school. And so, may we continue to lead with love, and together we move the dream forward. Thank you.
Good job. I can't really say much more than what has already been said, but also just extend, thank you, Mr. Chavez, for a very, very well done job. And also Interim Chief Arias as well for your presence there. I do want to, on a slightly different topic, it's come to my understanding, I don't have all the details, but that Mrs. Romero might have not been feeling well. I think she was not present at the last DLAC meeting. And so if we can, as a district, just kind of follow up and, make sure, check in and see how she's doing. And then if we can, set something up in terms like a flower arrangement, Ms. Cunningham, I'll charge me to it if we can send it on the board's behalf. I would really appreciate that. Let's see, what else? And then I just want to see if as a request, I guess, if we can look into possibly bringing back the community day schools topic conversation to see how we can, kind of bring some of that back. That would be really appreciated as well. And I think on my part, that's pretty much all the comments that I have for now. So I'll go ahead and pass it on to Mr. Arellano.
Thank you very much, President Ceballos. Well, first I always want to begin showing my gratitude to school police and our translators for being here every board meeting and helping us through. So I appreciate your presence and everything that you do. I want to start by wishing Dr. Wyatt a happy 21st birthday. Right, 21st, right? Is that what we said? Almost times 3. Happy birthday, sir. And I also want to thank all the community members once again, our principals, our cabinet who've been involved in the process of seeking our next chief of police. So I want to give the community an update that we have 2 finalists. We will be having our last round of interviews on this Friday, and hopefully that process will garner a finalist that we can proudly bring to board approval in the first meeting of February. So the process is moving along. And what I've been most excited about is just the involvement. All along the way, we've had our community involved, our cabinet involved, key players in the community, our union leaders, board members will be involved on Friday. And then hopefully it's a recommendation that all 7 board members could be proud and rally behind. So we're very excited. And I do want to continue to thank Sergeant Arias for the great work he's been doing, serving as interim police chief. He's been keeping us informed and has been reacting appropriately and accordingly to issues that come up. So thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Thanks for stepping up. And Mia Cooper, I know everyone knows Mia Cooper. Her daughter, Honey, is officially our first elementary student who is applied to be a student at Valley College. And she was there today to sign up for the, I think it's the ASL class. And so we are uncharted territory, having our first elementary student actually enrolled at a junior college for dual enrollment. So We're looking forward to Honey's success. And if you haven't met Honey, you know she's going to get an A in that class because she's an amazing young kid. So Mia, congratulations to you and to Honey. We're very excited for that a landmark moment here in the San Bernardino Unified School District. And then I also want to thank Shannon Hills Cadet today for their presentation of colors. They did a great job. I know Mr. Tillman noticed the uniforms look sharp and tight. And so, you know, I'm very proud of all of our cadet programs, but thank you to Shannon Hills and Kimber. You know, I've said this before, congratulations, you know, very deserving. We all enjoy working for you and you make us better. So congratulations on your recognition today. So today I want to also start by reminding everybody that January is National School Boards Month. And so I wanted to show this very handsome, good-looking group here and say to the public, for 23 years I've been serving as a cabinet level or in a cabinet level position. So in those 23 years, I have worked with different boards and different board members. And I can very securely and proudly say that this board is the most effective board I've ever worked with, the most professional board that I've ever worked with. The incredible synergy that all of you have. You are a proud leadership group, not only to the district, but to everyone in the community. We have a great diverse array of talents and experiences on this board, which I think creates that synergy. But bottom line is you guys love kids and you want what's best for our kids. So on behalf of the school district and everybody in the community and all our students, happy National School Boards Month, and thank you for all the work that you do for our district. It's noticed. It's noticed. Next slide. And I know it was alluded to earlier, I wanted to thank the San Bernardino Chamber of Commerce and Executive Director Judy Penman, who was also a former school board member here in the San Bernardino City Unified School District. Each year, she has a leadership cohort where many people of the community sign up to learn about the city. And as part of that learning, she exposes them to all the great things that are happening in our school district. In the last couple of years, she's been very intentional of trying to share the CTE programs that we have here, because she too is joining our movement in the city of movement of trying to make sure that our kids stay here. We have a lot of brilliant kids that can help us to continue to elevate our city. So I want to thank Judy for giving us the opportunity to be a part of that leadership cohort. Every year she invites me to come and speak, and she gives me the opportunity to not only talk about my personal story growing up and then becoming the superintendent, but also sharing the elements of our vision, and then more importantly, sharing the key performance indicators so that the community knows that the district is moving in a positive direction, that our students are reaching those levels of student achievement as we work towards being recognized as a very serious institution of academics. So this time around, we got to meet at the Cajon Dental Pathway at Cajon High School, and I know Mary Ellen is part of that cohort, and I know you've enjoyed it. So thank you for the opportunity to be a part of that, and thank you, Judy Penman. Appreciate your support. Next slide. And I'd like to share that two of our high school teachers here in San Bernardino City Unified are two of the 6 finalists for Educator of the Year for the California League of Educators. So who you see there is Charisma Luna Barnum, who is an excellent English teacher at San Bernardino High School and also a demo teacher, and CJ Eastwood, who is a social studies teacher over at Pacific High School. So 2 more of our teachers being recognized, 2 more examples of how this district shines. So we're looking forward on January 23rd to see who of the 6 finalists are going to be the winners. So we have a 33% chance, right? Because we have 2 of the 6. So we're looking forward to that. And to CJ's credit, he is also a finalist for the California Council for Social Studies Teacher of the Year for the state of California. So he's pulling double duty this year. So congratulations to our 2 finalists, 2 excellent teachers that our kids are benefiting from. Next slide. As was mentioned earlier today, I had the opportunity to attend the 46th annual Dr. Martin Luther King prayer breakfast as a guest of Assemblyman James Ramos. So I want to thank Mr. Ramos for allowing my wife and I to sit with him and his team at the meeting or at the breakfast. A great speech given by Pastor Gregory Perkins, who is a pastor in Menifee. An amazing speech that basically says, these are the times where we can't just talk the talk. we have to walk the talk. And so kind of supporting what Board Member Alexander was talking about and Board Member Medina, I'm very proud to be part of a district that is walking that talk. And so I appreciated Pastor Perkins' comments that were very moving. But I also wanted to highlight a few people that are very special to us because they have an alliance to our district who were recognized. Chief Joe Paulino was recognized for all his contributions to the community. Dr. Gwen Dowdy Rogers, the San Mario City Unified School District graduate and former board member, was recognized for her commitment to the community. Alton Garrett, a longtime member of the San Mario community, and as you know, a part of the superintendent's Pulse Committee that meets several times a year to ambassador on behalf of the district. And Ted Alejandre, former San Mario City Unified School District principal and county superintendent. All people that have given to the district, but also to the community. So congratulations. And you also see there Francine Blackshear's husband, who gave an amazing poem that he wrote and recited on leadership. I just wanted to say great job to him. He did an amazing job, but it was a very nice event, and glad I was there. Next slide. And as was mentioned, a shout out to the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce, Lou Dowdy and Richard Wallace for another great parade. And you see the pictures there of Board Member Medina, Tillman, Santos, Wyatt, and Grande in their cars that they were talking about. But what I'm most proud of is just our involvement. You know, as was mentioned, as the school district goes, the city goes. And Board Member Alexander mentioned, she remembered we were all there 3 years ago when there was maybe 4 people on the parade route. And we've gone from 4 people in the last couple of years to having 100 to this time around, it was probably close to 500, 600, 700, or 800, maybe close to 1,000. And so very proud. So I want to thank David for all the coordination that you and your department, Sergeant Arias, you know, all the support that your department provided. I want to thank all of the principals. We had 27 schools that were involved. So our principals, our teachers, our parents, our kids who were part of the parade and just brought a lot of joy to our city. And then of course, maintenance and operations, can't forget them. They were there helping us set up. And our transportation department for setting up all the busing for our kids to get there back and forth. And Mary Ellen had a great speech accepting an award on behalf of the district. They're very thankful of our involvement. So Mary Ellen, great speech. It really was well done. Next slide. And in continuing and highlighting the excellence here in the San Bernardino City Unified School District, you see 2 students from Pacific High School, Ms. Yang and Ms. Barahona. They are 2 students that presented at the National Council for Social Studies conference in Washington, D.C. And they were invited to share the civics project that they are doing in conjunction with the city of San Bernardino to address the concern of our unhoused population. And so this was a special invitation. 2 kids from CJ's class at Pacific High School. And also today, coincidentally, we had a couple of students also from CJ Eastwood's class at Pacific who were testifying in front of the State Senate Committee in Sacramento on the same topic. So our kids are brilliant, our kids are changing the world, and our kids are making a difference. So these are great moments for our district. So congratulations to Ms. Yang and Ms. Barahona. We're all very proud of the impact that you have not only in the district, but in the city of San Bernardino. Next slide. And I want to give a shout out to Vice Principal Candace Adamson. She is a Vice Principal at Arroyo Valley High School. She got her article published in the AXA, Association of California School Administrators Leadership magazine that comes out monthly. The topic this month was on fiscal responsibility in the school district. So she wrote an article called Aligning Resources to Vision, and it got published. So if you get a chance to read it or get a copy of it, or maybe we'll put it in a Friday update. But it's really cool that of all the different people who submit articles, she was one, I think, of 6 articles that were in the magazine. So I'll share that with the board in the next Friday update. But Candace, good job. We're very proud of you. Next slide. And then last but not least, a shout out to our Shannon Hills Middle School cheerleaders who this past week at the Cheer Pros Cheer National Championship at Riverside Convention Center won first place in the novice division. So congratulations to the principal, to the cheerleading coach, and of course the cheerleaders who are making our district shine. And next slide. And that just goes to show you that our district continues to shine, and it's all because of the great work that everyone across this entire district is doing, and because our kids are awesome. Would you guys agree over there? Our kids are awesome, right? Absolutely. And that's all I have tonight. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing all of that great information. 12.0 summary of board members' requests, 12.1 review of requests.
Good evening. We have 3 requests tonight. The first one is from Ms. Rosales Medina. She requested to include additional language in the mandated policy revisions, item 10.6, adoption of board policy 5145.13, response to immigration enforcement, to provide specific guidance regarding the use of masks in accordance with SB 627, and to address how the policy should incorporate statutory requirements prohibiting most local and federal law enforcement officers from concealing their faces while on duty. The second request is from President Ceballos. She requested to follow up with DLAC President Mrs. Romero. As the board president was informed, she has not been feeling well. Staff are asked to reach out on behalf of the board to convey well wishes and to consider sending flowers or another appropriate gesture of support. The last request is also from President Ceballos. She requested to consider the reestablishment of the Community Day School. Thank you.
Thank you. 13.0 meeting adjournment. Motion second?
So move.
Second. Thank you. We have adjourned.